Hey Matt, how are you?
Rob, good to see you.
Doing well. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Pretty low attendance today, but
just you and me.
we'll do what we can. We'll give it a few more minutes.
For sure. All right. Well, run over and grab a snack from the
Yeah.
fridge while we wait.
7:05. Let's get going. Matt, remind me what part of the city you live in?
CD 13.
13. Okay. Um,
Will we have the meeting with just the two of us?
yeah, it'd be great. We'll cruise through whatever we want to do.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit, give me a little bit of intro. I know you sent me some stuff. I'm not at my desk.
Yeah, no worries.
No worries. Also just pulling up the um, agenda for today
Yeah.
and putting it on a different screen. I've been on my other computer for meetings all day and switching, I don't know, just switching to different screens. Great. Um, yeah, so I lead bike rides, often two bike rides every weekend, and ride around the city a lot. And I've been in San Francisco and I've lived in New York and experienced a few different ways, different cities do their bicycle transit.
Yeah.
Um, Cycling is important to me. I've been working on a project with Streets for All as a volunteer, where we're looking at our Vision Zero project that I don't know, you could say didn't do great. and working on a sort of report card
Yeah.
to advocate for more and better investment and, beefing up our infrastructure to reduce bicycle and pedestrian deaths. In addition, I have, what's that?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I also did my PhD at Berkeley in city planning, and I wasn't a transportation or bicycle planner, but just we all learn a canon of strategies and ways of thinking about the city and the interconnections between sustainability issues and transit, housing, equity. And so bicycling is still an important area for me.
And I'll move my placeholder.
Did bring my laptop in case we need it.
Beautiful. Karen is just joining us. This is Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hey
Matt,
there.
PhD in planning, urban planning,
Mm-hmm.
active with FUBAR, AIDS Life Cycle Group. So leads bike rides twice a week and is in CD 13.
Well done.
And Karen, you are from?
I live in CD 10 in Koreatown,
Mhm.
near Olympic and Arlington, and I'm a mayoral representative on the BAC.
It's hard to believe it's only been a week since the election.
What a weird week.
It's going to be a weird 4 years.
Everything's been really weird. Yes.
Thanks for making the trek. Did you bike or?
I drove.
I did too.
Per spousal request.
My wife was like, "Thank you for driving."
I
think that speaks to the issue here.
Well, it's also the time change kind of thing too.
Yeah, I don't like, I like the most direct route is the expo path, and I don't like riding that at night.
Yeah,
And it's really dark.
yeah.
Mhm.
Cool. So we'll jump into it. Thanks, Matt, for that introduction and reminder of your specialness and commitment.
Oh, thank you.
That's great.
Cheers.
Have you thought about becoming a league cycling instructor?
No, I've not.
Not even consider that.
Okay. Any interest in that, or heck no? You just got too much on your plate, and
I'm currently
Doing a lot of beginner rides.
yeah,
So not at the moment.
yeah. So,
Jerry asked me if he's interested in serving on the BAC.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why he's here.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
I have a rep.
CD 13, however.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lionel is joining us. Thanks, Lionel, for pulling up. He's not quite in, but
Getting there.
let me give you a bunch of updates, chair updates and news. So I've listed 3. The League of American Bicyclists is going to be having an advocacy training, I think late February, maybe early March, likely in Santa Monica. I think Spokes, is it Spokes? Yeah. Will be co-hosting the event. It's a national training program for people interested in learning a little bit more about what it means to be a bike advocate and kind of some of the basics. They did it this past year at the end of the National Bike Summit, and I attended, and I found it very good. And I think we have such outstanding bicycle advocates in LA doing some really great work. To have them be some of the presenters and sharing kinds of words and insights would be really exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. National Bike Summit is in DC, March 11th through the 13th. And I attended their look ahead to what the new administration and the impact that that's going to have and who the players might be. And that is still pretty early, but they were stressing one of the days at the National Bike Summit is to do lobbying on the Capitol, which was crazy for me. I'd never thought of that or done that. And so they set up appointments with all the people who are coming to the summit to try to have us meet with our electeds, which was a really cool concept. So we met with staffers for both of the California senators, and then I met with staff from Ted Lieu's office from, Congress. And so that was eye-opening. And I got lots of blisters because I don't wear dress shoes anymore. And I lost a heel. Boys don't lose heels,
Oh,
but I
wow.
broke a heel. It was a whole new experience for me.
Cool.
There is a pop-up sponsored for Streets for All and AARP in Westwood on November 17th from 1:30 to 4:30. This Sunday, yeah. So maybe I'll try to get there. Cal Bikes is having a what does the next 30 years look like for them as a advocacy group, and that'll be December 3rd. Bike Fest is 24th, 23rd. 23rd. Same place. If you went last year, it was at
The Highland Park Brewery.
Highland Park Brewery, yeah. And there's a silent auction, and didn't you buy something
That's
there?
how I got my Brompton.
And that's how I got a longboard skateboard that I think I've used much less than your Brompton.
Way more than I expected to.
So looking forward to that. And then I just was reading Streets blog today, and there's a revolutionizing mobility with representatives from the Netherlands this Thursday, November 14th from 2:30 to 5 at Helms Bakery somewhere. And so I signed up for that. And they're talking a little bit about as LA prepares for the Olympics, the World Cup, and other kinds of stuff. So take a look at that. It's free. It's on Streets blog, what's happening this week kind of stuff. And so because it's just down the street from me, I'm going to try to attend that. And I went to 2 presentations by Dutch Cycling Embassy at the National Bike Summit and Cal Bike, and they were both really inspiring. And Karen has great stories of European travels.
And I contacted the Dutch Cycling Embassy before I went, and they gave me guides to
Oh, really?
ways to tour the cities I was going through by bike.
Nice.
Be cool thing.
Cool. So those are kind of news and announcements from me. Anything from you?
No, my mind is blank right now.
Okay, Matt, anything for you that you want to bring up to add to our list of, oh, I didn't know that was happening.
Just that the Cal Bike event is called an agenda reveal, which I thought was
Yeah,
cute.
yeah. Lionel, anything from your end?
Well, first of all, thank you. And I apologize for not being there in person. It's far away from my residence. It's in the west side, and I live in Northeast Valley.
Yep.
So it's kind of far away and it's dark. So and number 2, I guess Ciclavia. I don't know if this is correct or true, but I think they changed location for the Valley event. Previously it was on Ventura Boulevard. But now I just saw posting on Eventbrite that's on Sherman Way, along Canoga Park, Winnetka, and Reseda, same as last year. So I did send out an email to Ciclavia asking if that's correct, or I'm not sure if they changed location, but that was a surprise to me.
Yeah, those things are usually planned out way in advance. There must be a backstory there then.
Yeah, because in the Eventbrite it says Sherman Way, but previously I thought it was on Ventura Boulevard along Studio City, but so I'm waiting confirmation about that.
Okay.
Your website, it says it's on Sherman Way.
Well, update us if you learn anything interesting. Thank you.
It's a short one.
Yeah. Any public comment for things not on the agenda? I know Streets Blog talked about, and Streets for All, a few other folks have talked about, some of the progressives that were elected. So West Hollywood appears to have a pro-bike city council. Culver City is leaning towards that. I think Bubba is up by a couple of
They're
hundred
still
votes.
counting, huh?
Yeah. I-
Wow.
Scott, who lives in Culver City, says they will be counting until November 25th, when I think
The deadline.
26th, they have to post the results, so. But the numbers, his lead appears to be growing, so that, but that's still just a handful of people. And Isabel Gerardo won, and we have a vacancy there, so we're looking forward to moving things along. We have a number of open vacancies, and we've been we started a lobbying of City Hall to fill our vacancies and fill alternates, and put that on hold since the elections were really just around the corner. So we'll pick that up soonish, for sure, no later than January, but we want to get this on people's radar so that they're aware of. A friend of mine who knows I'm a cyclist forwarded me Paul Krikorian's announcement saying he had some open vacancies on some advisory committees. And she was suggesting I run for one. I said, oh, well, I chair one of the ones that you're suggesting. But it was good to see Paul putting out, we've got
Trying to get
vacancies
people, yeah.
and trying to fill those vacancies. So that was encouraging. That felt good. Nothing new, I think, from LADOT Metro. Caltrans is doing some work around their ATP Resource Center, but I don't have that to share. And I will tell you the bike-friendly state report cards from the League of American Cyclists will be coming out. This is from 2002, and they do it every couple of years. So we were ranked in number 4 nationally, which is hard to believe, as a state, not as a city. And so I did then download what was all involved, and it's lots of pages.
We've got David's in San Francisco pulling for us.
Yeah,
Davis.
Davis, maybe San Diego, who knows? But I think in terms of they're looking at policy and other kinds of things. And I was surprised when I went to CalBike how many Caltrans planners were there. So they try to be somewhat engaged. Anything else? Review and approve minutes. We'll skip. They're posted. If you see any corrections, please let me know, Karen.
Okay.
I haven't looked at them since then, so. City council related files, we have, city council passed this file about, construction, and we're wanting to continue. I have not done any more updating of those files, but they do need it. Kind of continuing down administrative business, Abraham Tejeda, who is also applicant for the committee, helped develop a draft LABAC business plan using AI. He has drafted a couple of business plans as a business owner and a business major, and he was pleasantly surprised by how well AI did in creating the business plan. There is a link to what it developed. There is a little bit of overall, it looks terrific. I think the issue is it generated a budget of $850,000.
Wow.
So I think we need to remove a lot of zeros from that number and do some rounding up, but it gives us
Does it say what
something
the
to
money was needed for?
well, yeah, it does. Infrastructure advocate, it spells it out on page 3 of the
I see
outreach.
numbers.
Yeah. Not specifically, right, but it. I think the likelihood of us getting grants Corporate sponsorship and fundraising is going to be very limited. And I might hope to get a couple of $1,000s from the city. Maybe maybe we stick with 5,000. That would make a big difference from 0.
Yes.
And then we split some of that, how that might work out. Well, actually, we could keep that the same number and just reduce the zeros. Take 2 zeros off and move everything over, and that would give us. No, that won't give us anything.
It's a starting. Point.
Yeah, it's a starting point. So I encourage you to take a look at it, and if you have thoughts about it, this at least gives us something. To one of the things that we were asked, we did a meeting with Jeff Jacobberger, who represents. He's a city staff on a city council office. I don't have my list. And he said, yeah, a business plan would be great to take a look at. He thought our best bet was the mayor's office. And maybe we can get a couple $100s from each council district. Wouldn't be horrible. Lionel raises a question about who's the admin for the BAC committee Google email account. It is Henrietta Almo, who is no longer with us, and we don't have the password. And so when we send emails, I use my spreadsheet roster to send out the emails versus the committee at the LABAC committee, because only some of us are on that distribution, and so we don't have the ability to update that. So that's the business plan. Please feel free to, I have no background in business, purely education, higher ed, residential life. So I know how to spend money. I don't know how to ask for or distribute. Well, I know how to distribute, but my wife keeps books
To the
at
plan.
Any other comments that people want to make about that business plan? I'm trying not to jam this through, but thoughts or reactions to the document?
Well, maybe everyone should just edit it the way they would, and
Forward them to me?
yeah.
Yeah, great. I can actually give people editor rights to the document. And so if you're interested, let me know, raise your hand, say something, and happy to do that.
How does you use Google Docs,
Mhm.
right? How does that work if you have to have a Gmail account associated with the same address that you were
If you-
invited to? Because like whenever I click on those,
Uh-huh.
like when I click on it from the agenda, I can't open it because it wants me,
To use your Gmail account.
and then that's a different email address. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
You could share I could share if you have a Gmail and you want to share that with me, I could put that on the
Is that what
doc.
you have to
Yeah,
have?
yeah. Or I
But-
can-
Or does it require you to use a Gmail address to log in, or is there some other way when someone shares, like with Dropbox or something else?
Right.
It's not specific to a login.
I can give people, I believe I can give people access using anyone access who has the link. Whether or not they're able to modify the doc, that might be a good question. But I could also
Access to it.
save it as a Word doc and send that out too, if that's helpful as well. Matt, do you have it?
No, I don't have access.
Maybe somebody who uses Google Docs more than I do and knows.
I started using Google Docs because of bike advocacy community that I was hanging out with was everything was Google Docs. I'm like, yeah. As a work Microsoft person, so I've made the transition.
You can also add folks as reviewers, and so then they can comment and make suggestions without actually changing the base document.
Right. So editors can just change it and
Yeah, they can mess it up.
you totally mess it up. But I can also have commenters or and so it's like Rob suggested you use this word or insert that, and so I can
Strike
accept.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Mhm.
you have to be logged in with a Gmail?
You do not. No.
No. If I
you
were to
just
just
have to-
click, I could still keep going.
You just need to have a share link that goes to you, or that, the sharing link has to be for anybody who clicks the link, or
I see.
only people who are, only these people are invited, etc.
Okay, thanks.
So Karen, you will have access. Matt, any interest or not?
Yes, I just don't have access
I'll
at all.
you do that. Okay. And Lionel, how about yourself? Do you have interest in the business plan or nah?
You said business plan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, can you, yeah,
Did you want access? Are you able to open the business plan and the link in the agenda?
oh, the business plan, on the agenda, right?
Yeah.
Let me see, I think so.
Okay. If not, let me know and I can fix that. And Matt, when you clicked on it, did it give you access or no?
I requested access.
Okay.
Request access. I click the link.
Okay.
So whoever's hosting that document will get the request. So it's probably an
Got
email if it's yours.
Yeah, it's Abraham, but I'll connect with him. Yeah.
Is it, which, you said business plan? I see advocacy, old business.
Under administrative business, there's a 7A, review and discuss draft LABAC business plan on the agenda.
Oh, I don't see a link. It just says there's no link to it.
If
I
you
see,
click
but
on LABAC business plan, that should be an active link.
I just posted it.
Thanks, Matt.
Cheers.
Fourth World, did you want to introduce yourself? Okay. So I will make sure everybody has, I will send it out as a separate doc to the whole committee for comment versus just a link, so everybody has it and can comment. And I will use
I have no mic on this machine.
$5,000 or $10,000 as our
A starting.
starting agenda.
budget.
Yeah, because 850,000 is just
Not realistic,
not realistic at all.
and we wouldn't know what to do with it.
No, yes, we would, but it wouldn't be good. Get us in trouble.
Good start putting
yeah.
up our own bike lanes.
So in terms of committee outreach calendar, this is the idea of, are there some things that we want to really commit to, supporting, promoting? And so part of that is Ciclavia and potentially doing some outreach at the larger Ciclavias. There have been some minis, and I think that continues to be a worthwhile opportunity for us to pursue. But I also think we really ought to push and shove for a couple of other things. So I think National Bike Month in May, bike to school, bike to work, safe routes to school. Those are things that I think we really ought to get out in front of and work towards at least owning those and promoting our city council members to acknowledge and to promote it as well.
Maybe an initial focus could be Bike Month,
Yeah,
and just because that alone is probably turns into a daunting task.
yeah.
And we need to find out what, if anything, Bike LA
Yeah.
They didn't do anything this last year.
Yeah, right. So I think November 23rd will give us a sense of how viable Bike LA
Good point,
is.
yeah.
Bike Fest, if you can go, that would be great. Just to say hello to Eli and make sure he's alive and breathing. I did meet the new executive director for Walk LA. She's relatively new and lots of energy, and I think they share workspace together. So
Oh, okay, in Culver City.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's a great idea. Really focus on National Bike Month.
Can I ask what a focus looks like from this committee?
Well, we've never done it that I know of since I've been on the committee. It's been in the past, LACBC, now Bike LA, would organize things, but that hasn't happened since COVID.
Oh, see,
So we've been thinking about what can we do to try to get something going there.
I mean, I think we might, what comes to mind is that we give all of our members resources to share with their council district and their neighborhood councils within their region, and to really push those out and to start in January, start sending things out. Hey, 3 months, 2 months, 1 month away. Here's some outreach material. See what you can do in your community. Not that we're going to organize rides in each individual community, but really encourage people to use May as a celebration of warmer weathers and this national movement. So I think rely on stuff that's already been done. Not maybe we would come up with a ride that we would want to do, but that's initially my thoughts. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd like to at least have like a week of focus.
Yeah.
And each day have a theme,
Mhm.
and that's probably to be doing it for the first time. That's a lot right there.
I'm hoping we are able to get a couple of people have expressed interest. One, Adrian Hoff from Streets for All. Lots of energy, lots of experience, and Anne-Marie Drolet, who used to be one of the hosts on Bike Talk. And she's very connected to, I think, I would say the underground bike community, Trash Pandas and others. Rides has done mixed race that races out of Biker Wave in West LA, and it's all female led. And so really kind of the non-mainstream cycling clubs, and to promote and encourage people's awareness. FUBAR, AIDS Life Cycle Training Ride. I mean, ALC is coming to an end, but
there are many groups in the city.
yeah.
Friends and
Who need a little bit of spotlighting and
And
flashlights.
hasn't been coordinated in
Right.
efforts. It's great to have all these different groups with different focus, and it'd be
Yeah.
great to cultivate a network there.
And I met somebody who went to the All Clubs ride that LA, who's doing that?
I don't know who it's the
Not
organizer.
Major Taylor, but Bahati Foundation has an All Clubs black tie dinner in LA, invites all the cycling clubs. And I was in Laguna Hills taking a bike tools mechanics course, and one of the mechanics said, yeah, it was great. People came from all over the country to attend this event. Like, we gotta.
Yeah, and is that a racing community event, or is it?
It's
more-
supposed to be all clubs, so that's the idea. So Bahati is a racing club. Lagrange is a,
Just
they
like a
purchase.
expression of that.
Right. But even still,
They're part of the bike community, yeah.
right. So, yeah. Yeah. So Lionel, your question is, I think part of what we're trying to do is to empower people with information and resources to push out. And so May is not that far away for a committee like ours.
6 months.
6 months, yeah, given our meeting schedule and stuff. And I'm getting to know the bike league people in their sponsorship stuff, so that'll be exciting. Great. I've been doing some stuff with Culver City biking, bike to school, and Mar Vista has had some success there. Sorry, I got distracted. So I'm participating in some youth cycling stuff. And there's a lot of pressure or desire looking for league instructors down in Orange County because of some of their concern about the e-bike stuff. And I know Walk and Rollers is super busy with that. Thanks, Matt, about the all clubs. Talked a little bit already about moving on to filling open committee seats. Our goal really is to have alternates and active people in each seat. We have people who are in seats who really don't engage anymore. And so if we have an alternate, we get somebody to participate, and people get busy, and alternates is also a way how I got pulled into this incredible experience of opportunity. Can be very meaningful. So
Sorry, on the note, I noticed that I was digging through the charter, as one does, and it looks like there is an in-person quorum to make decisions or move certain items.
Yep.
How hard would it be to change that requirement? I just we're in a Zoom world now, and I don't know if that's something we want.
Well,
we want to do.
apparently there's some kind of statewide thing about, right? And advisory committees come under this rule that we
Brown
require
Act.
in-person meetings.
we've not been able, their neighborhood councils have gotten exception to the in-person. Advisory committees were left out.
Okay, great.
Our subcommittees, I don't really care who shows up or how we get the work done. But I think at the general meeting, we do need to meet quorum that's our most public facing. So that's where we are challenged and are trying to really make a difference there by filling all the seats with alternates.
It is a challenge.
Yeah.
In-person quorum challenge.
Yeah.
Can I ask also what what does it look like to try to fill seats?
Yeah.
What's an ideal candidate?
We basically are the receiving end of council members' appointments. And so we need to make sure the council member knows that that they have vacancies and that they do a selection and notify us.
And so somebody who wants a position submits a letter, right?
Typically, right, it's sending a letter
Like
to.
we don't nominate them, they ask to be appointed.
But I'm happy to do letters of introduction. Hey, this person has expressed interest from your district. You have a vacancy either on the committee or as an alternate. Please consider them as you work to fill this vacancy. And that was part of the going to City Hall to lobby. But to lobby in City Hall, you need an appointment and there's a screening. You go to a desk, you have to call. It's the world of security is very evident. So there's just no door knocking and selling subscriptions anymore.
I have some ideas for folks in CD14.
Great. Yeah, forward those to me. That would be incredible. And I will share the whole list of who we've got and what we're looking for. But there is also mayoral appointee stuff. That is an opportunity. I was an alternate for a while and then became a mayoral appointee.
So it's Glenn, you, me, and Eli. Right?
Yeah. I suspect Eli may be looking to focus fully on Bike LA, but we'll find out.
Well, and we at least need an alternate.
Yes. Oh, right, for the 4
because we
positions.
haven't been able to get-
Yeah. Uh-huh. Great. Anything else around vacancies? I I did create a manual for myself and shared it with people who were interested. I don't know that many people opened it, but as we bring in new people, you may be interested in some of this stuff. And so to put it online, to put it on our website, we're working on that. There's a lot to bicycle advocacy and a lot that's out there. And so we're just trying to create a one-stop shop so that if you're new to it, there's a lot of acronyms and it took me longer than I want to admit to understand what active transportation meant, let alone bollards and right away and class 1, class 2 bikes and bikeways.
I'm sure that's very helpful.
Mm. Julian and I are working on the website. And one of the other ideas is that we create bike guides for each community. So if you're a new cyclist or wanting to get more involved or learn how to ride safely, you don't really care what's happening in West LA. If you're from East LA or from the Valley or from South Central or Harbor area, right? And so to try to create some insider guides to help people navigate and understand what are safe pathways, what are streets to avoid. I think that's something that I'd love to see people grab a hold of. So Lionel, I think you talked about what could I be doing? You and Glenn often speak to the Valley, and that's a whole nother arena for me. I know a little bit about the Valley, but I never, yeah, lived out there, and there's lots of projects going on. And so to create resource guides for each larger part of LA, I think would be a really cool thing to do and create and we could, I think, partner with our council districts to promote cycling and biking in their community. So, Tracy Park, whether or not she's our biggest ally or not, if we have a publication or a website that talks about here's cool cycling groups in CD11. Here's some great epic rides that you should do.
Recommended
right?
routes that you can.
Here's some cool groups that are really active, right? Hey, if you're new and you're looking to train to long distance ride, FUBAR or others.
Yeah, someone else. Yeah, that's great.
And to invite input from people who live in those areas who maybe this is a pain point for trying to commute by bike in that area. They could have an easy way to say, hey, we need a resource.
Yeah, I have often been a source of how do you get to UCLA, Rob? And I was doing Sawtelle and Solvita, and then after several years, finally figured out some pleasurable non-agro.
Streets are the key to biking in LA, and you have to figure that out. You need to make it easier.
Cool.
I like the idea of websites. That sounds really cool. I feel like it takes, I don't know, when I've done websites in the past, they can just sit there hidden in the bowels of the city, like data somewhere semi-public. I feel like it's really helpful to have events or some sort of spaces that drive people to websites. If you're going to make a resource, like it could just be buried.
Yeah.
So
I mean, everybody says websites are dead, but it's Instagram, Rob, everything. But it does create a backbone or a starting point and a capture.
Yeah, for sure. But I guess so there's the website idea as a resource, but also having it be a, I don't know, community forum or a portal for people to make requests for to the city is a much bigger ask.
Yeah. Great. And I think there may be opportunity with Metro in terms of their bike program to pull them in a little bit. And one of the candidates works for bike transit systems. And then we have other people who work in Metro, former allies or current allies that are working within the system. And
You're
most,
referring to Alex?
there's a
Yeah.
bunch of people, right, who are, yeah, Alec. Yeah, he's a Glendale guy. So, but yeah. All right, we're a little bit off. But Julian and I are doing a little bit of work around the website, but the idea of creating meaningful resource guides by living area would be really exciting. And just identifying all the groups out there that are doing cool rides. I already touched upon going down to advocacy stuff. I did talk a little bit about the state report cards coming out. And then if you look at biking in LA, he is regularly talking about the failure for California to launch their e-bike rebate program. And it only occurred to me a week or two ago that should be on our agenda too, of advocacy, of trying to promote the e-bike incentive
Is
program.
that entirely state, or are
It's
there
entirely
local
state.
implementations?
Yes, and it has been in trial phase in one part of California, and that has gone nowhere. There are the Universal Mobility Program is putting electric assist vehicles in communities that have been disenfranchised. So ride on bikes.
Oh, yeah.
And a bunch of sustainability communities and organizations are creating these universal mobility programs that are encouraging businesses to use cargo bikes to make deliveries, having trial use e-bikes, lease to own kind of program. So there's some things going on there, but the state program has not launched, and to try to get the city to pay attention and encourage that and to put pressure there would be, I think is worth a little bit of our time. Lionel, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the things that you're posting in there, kind of Valley centric stuff?
Okay, I could speak briefly. Last month in October, Assemblymember Luz Rivas, City of San Fernando, built a bridge connecting over the Pacoima Wash. It is part of the Pacoima Wash Connectivity Project, Phase 1. And I believe early last year, if I'm not mistaken, Joe Linton, the writer, blogger for Streets Block LA, attended a ceremony in San Fernando, I believe near Glen Oaks Boulevard, with the plans, the Assemblymember Luz Rivas, San Fernando Mayor Celeste Rodriguez, and other local officials on building a bike pedestrian pathway along the wash. So I believe that this bridge, that link that I posted, the pedestrian bridge naming after Cindy Martinez, who passed away, is part of that project. So to make it easier for pedestrians and bicyclists to bike along the wash, because they're building a bike path along the wash, parallel. I think that's what the plan is, the long-term plan, I should say. So they're starting in phases. So little by little. That's for the Northeast San Fernando Valley, which is in Council District 7, Monica Rodriguez District, for those who may not be aware. That's the information that I have. So I posted the links. So hopefully, people get a sense of what's going on. So thank you.
It only took 20 years, so maybe we shouldn't be so anxious for things to happen.
Lionel and I also attended, and a few others, one about connecting the LA River around the Sepulveda Basin area. And I know we had some equestrian advocates come to our meeting talking about their concerns about a dog park. And when we went to this meeting, we were advocating keeping, as individuals, keeping the bike path as planned. And that we felt that the separation between the bike path and the dog park with greenery was more than sufficient. But so some of the stuff that's happening in the valley. Thanks, Lionel, for representing and always being a resource and a voice for our valley partners. Great.
Is who manages the wash? Sorry, what like agency or authority, or is it one of the like pardon me, Army Corps of Engineers?
Yeah, some of it is Army Corps of Engineers, yeah.
And then, but it also sounds like maybe San Fernando City and LA DOT has something to do with it as well.
Correct.
Okay. Wow.
And maybe even Caltrans.
Okay.
Right.
One of those like many multi-agency projects that takes 20 years.
Cool. Let's do it once around. Anything new and impressive in your bike world, Karen? How's bike bloomies going?
Gotta launch some holiday specials.
Oh, are you? You want to share what your business is? Side business.
I have a side business, making and selling Bikey Girl bloomers. They're basically it's clothing for making it easy and comfortable for women to get around on a bike and still be dressed up nice for work or going out. So like this. And we just launched the bike date dress, which has done very well.
Oh, good.
A way to look nice and be comfy, be all dressed up, but ride a bike.
Cool. Lionel, anything in your bike world that you want to share on a personal or?
No, nothing new, except for the only thing Council District 6 is the Orange Line bike path plan, because of I believe they're trying to convert the bus into light rail eventually. So they're working on parts of the Orange Line, which I believe that some bicyclists are going to be detoured because of the light rail, East Valley Light Rail project that they're building. So that's along Van Nuys, part of Council District 6.
I signed up to do Park Tools Mechanic School, and the closest one available to me was in Laguna Niguel. And I went to 4 classes. In order to get down there by 6, I was leaving by 2 to avoid hellacious traffic, an hour and a half. And in the process of learning how to bleed my hydraulic brakes, I ruined my rear brake caliper and my shifter, which they no longer make anymore. So ended up having to take it to my local bike shop, Bike Improve, and it only cost me $1,100 to get my bike back working again. But I know how to.
That's an REI bike? Or
No. It's a Cannondale.
The
Yeah.
Cannondale.
But it's an 11-speed and they don't make them anymore and they don't make the parts anymore. So anyways, that's my bike world.
Ouch.
Matt, anything you want to share on your better than that?
Yeah, no, just one of my friends actually started working at REI just to in the bike zone just to learn how to be a mechanic. And
Nice.
yeah, just I don't know. you have extra time to get a second job and, you know.
I know, I know.
My brother lived in Aspen Basalt area and decided they needed to move somewhere more affordable, so went to Bend, Oregon. And he was rehabbing a house and now he needed to get a job. And when you're new to community and you're 50 or older, it can be a little hard. So he ended up applying to REI. He worked in the sports business, worked at a ski shop that ran a bike shop and fly fishing. And the interview process, he had to do online interviews, videotape himself answering questions, met with some managers over the phone, and they sent him to the store for more interviews. And it turned out to be a group interview with 40 other people that lasted 4 to 5 hours long for a seasonal part-time job.
That's horrible.
He got
That's
it.
where to make friends, people.
He got it.
For that investment.
And he says, and the manager's like, well, we oftentimes, keep people on. 85% of our seasonal workers become full-time, more permanent employees. Yay.
Wow.
So lots of active outdoors people have moved to Bend, and there's no lack of
Yeah.
outdoor enthusiasts.
Got it. Got it. Noted. All right.
So Matt, part of the city are you most familiar with biking in?
I'm in Echo Park and I bike all over, I don't know, Northeast Los Angeles. Often, I don't know, sometimes just rides before work through Elysian and Griffith Park, sometimes up to Pasadena and, the Chevy Chase area or the Verdugo Mountains. I go up in the valley once in a while. A couple weekends ago, we did a big ride with a professional cyclist named Phil Gaiman that had a
The cookie thing?
The Grand Cookie Fondo.
yes, I did that. It was great. It was
that- Yeah,
challenging and beautiful. Yeah.
cool.
But mostly like more east side than your zone, than Koreatown or any of the. I come over to the west side once in a while, but not a lot.
Yeah.
I will say that I'm still loving the Hollywood bike lane.
Yeah,
I know that some of my like driver friends are still angry that for some reason, but whatever, it's a decision was made.
to the extent I've ridden on it, it just seems like there isn't a traffic problem.
Everybody says there would be, but yeah,
And
it looks
Well,
great.
and let's hope it gets extended a little.
Keep
further.
sending it all the way down Sunset, all the way down to Cesar Chavez.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be.
I know one thing I can share.
Yeah.
This is coffee nouring season. Does
Oh,
anyone know
that's
what
right.
that is? Somebody in Washington, DC started it. This is like the 14th year, but people from all over the world participate, and she's her background is randonneurs, and
Which is what?
which is these long distance bike rides that are organized, but it's not a race. You just have a time limit by which you try to, complete the route. And some of the routes are 200 kilometers and some of them are 1,200 kilometers and longer. But the point of coffee nouring is after the main season has ended and the days get shorter, it could be easy to fall out of the habit of biking, especially if you live in Washington, DC, as opposed to here. But the idea is to keep biking by going to coffee shops by bike, and people share their experiences. The requirement is just to visit 7 different coffee shops over 7 weeks and report back, and you have to just do at least 2 miles round trip on each ride. And it's really just it cultivates community, and it does encourage you. And there's no requirement to do it with other people, but I started making that one of my requirements, that every week I find somebody to do it with me and sort of spread the spirit of coffee nouring. So
I love it.
Part of my ride last week, I met Jennifer.
Oh, good.
We went to the Pam's Coffee at the renovated Vista Theater in Los Feliz, and that was nice.
How do you like your coffee?
like dessert.
Oh.
I get, I have fun up to this time of year, like I had the brown sugar pumpkin drink or whatever. And,
So you're of the pumpkin
I
spice
do these
latte
things that are
part.
basically liquid dessert.
Okay. I'm a black coffee.
Jennifer had the black mamba jumbo or whatever, like they
Okay.
had some kind of drink.
Matt, Lionel, how do you like your coffee?
I start every new, go ahead. Lionel.
Sorry. I drink regular coffee like from McDonald's.
Oh, I
and
love.
lattes, peppermint, pumpkin, spice. But I usually get sugar-free vanilla latte
Okay. All right.
or McDonald's coffee.
Matt,
I start every ride at a coffee shop, and you know that's the meetup point. So I feel like I've probably completed the coffee nearing, but I just need to do some reporting back on all of it. And I'm in the coffee snob zone, so typically black coffee, sometimes single origin if you're lucky, pour over, you know, the best coffee.
You pick your coffee shops by the equipment they have for making it, right? Like with
Yeah, and a nice bathroom for all of my cyclists showing up.
so you start your ride at a coffee shop, do you end at a brewery?
It's a good idea. We ride with a lot of sober folks. It's not always the sort of spirit of any given group, but I do like to end with, you know, a bunch of beer calories. I'll sign up for the Bike Fest as well.
oh, we'll see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a AeroPress guy, and I've discovered Fellows Coffee Grinder, their newest one. I love it. And it do 18 grams of coffee with 30 grams of water is my coffee water ratio,
It's almost 2-to-1, right?
something like that. I don't know.
So do you make your coffee on the bike ride with your AeroPress?
I like my coffee, like my bike tires, all black and strong. Yeah. I'm trying to appreciate medium roast coffees because that's where the connoisseur is, but I do like a little bit of stronger, blacker. Cool. Thank you all. Good meeting some of you and sharing coffee and coffee nouring. I forgot about that. We should add that to a seasonal push of our calendar. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Good to meet you.
Cheers.
All
Stay in
right.
touch.
Okay. Well, I can take this.